Hey everybody, it's your girl Angie. Welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. Let's talk about the challenge. This was episode 3 last night. I titled it A Lot of Big Heads and a Lot of False Narratives. And that title is really a shout out to the end of the episode, and we will get there. Let's jump right into where the episode begins. K-Dog, which is a nickname that I believe Kyle gave himself, but I hope it doesn't stick. Kyle is pissed. He's in the house. He's fired up. He won his gold skull, and he's ready to switch sides. He was like, y'all were my homeboys. I was with y'all, and then you threw me into elimination. Later on, he'll figure out why. I still don't think it was a good reason why, but we're going to get there later on as well. Side note, I like Kyle this season. I like that he isn't rocking that pirate look. I like the clean shaven, nice haircut, the fashion in the confessionals. I'm really feeling Kyle this season, and he's also on my fantasy team. So I'm hoping he can find another alliance, another stronghold in the game. He might, I would say he could rock with the UKs, but I don't think they're strong enough this season. I think a lot of them are getting ready to go home. But let's move on. So we have the new nickname couple, the Big CT. I don't like it. I think it's super corny. I said I bet CT wished he would have picked Cam and he wouldn't have been in this situation. I just don't like it. I don't like how CT is now has all this hope and he believes in Big T, and Big T is going to be a great partner. We saw what she did this episode. I don't like how, I'm still kind of mad that he didn't pick Cam in the beginning and he had to think about it. He wasn't ready to commit and he quickly jumped on over to Ashley. I said, CT, you full of shit. And it's only a matter of time before CT goes in there and gets his gold skull and he drops Big T real quick, fast, and in a hurry. So, up next, Fessy comes in the room. He's talking to Kyle, Wes, Devin, Nam, Michi. I think, are they all roommates? I don't know. He tells them about the secret vote. Luke Angelo, no. He tells Kyle about the secret vote and that they're no longer secret. And as a double agent, you can see who voted for who for the nominations. Why did you tell them that? I agree with Anissa. Like, you could have told Kyle anything. You could have said so-and-so said that you voted, you could have told him anything. You could have easily maneuvered out of that without having to tell him the biggest secret of the game. Like, I would have held on to that. And then you're already working with Leroy and KC, and I would have made Leroy and KC kind of keep it a secret. But now it's no longer a thing. People aren't going to really vote secretly anymore because it's no longer a secret. And they're going to be in fear of, now you have the intimidation put back into the game where I have to vote how the double agents want me to vote so they don't throw me in. And I don't like it. Like, it's already episode 2 and that twist of the game is ruined by Fessy. Kyle admits, yeah, I did vote for, but I don't understand why that was really a big thing. I don't agree with the vote last week anyway, but we ain't gonna go back there. I don't understand why Fessy and Anissa were so upset at Kyle when your big brother mate, KC, your ride or die, KC voted, and Leroy voted the wrong way too. Like, a lot of people voted for Big T and what's the boy name? I done forgot it already. I want to call him Jacob. A lot of people voted that way last week, but all the anger went towards Kyle. And I didn't really understand that. Maybe I might have to watch the after show to really, but I'm like, your alliance threw you under the bus. Moving on. So now Kyle starts snitching. He was like, the homeboys over there, They the ones who was coming after you, Wes. Yeah, Nelson, Corey, Fessy, all of them were coming after you, Wes. And I'm like, why is Wes shocked? Like, to me, Wes, you knew what the deal was since episode 1. You knew everybody wanted the champs out. I don't understand why you think people are going to backtrack off of that. And I don't know why Corey and Nelson and Fessy are getting the heat for it when it was Cam's idea. And then if you look at KC, Cam and KC aren't even really working together if you ask Big Brother. So I don't understand what's going on in the house. A lot of it is getting on my nerve, but we gonna get there. But to me, Wes, it shouldn't have been a shock that everyone was coming for you. But I don't understand why they didn't throw you in last week. But now it's Kyle. Kyle calls Fessy a pussy and says, no, and I said, I'm here for it. Because Kyle snapped off and was like, look, he back to the space and opportunity. You ain't see nothing but a ring. You was a pussy. Why did you think that was a puzzle? You should have went down there and got your gold skull. And I 100% agree with everything Kyle said at this moment. I'm really mad at everybody. I'm going to jump around for a second. I'm mad at everybody for continuously playing this scared game. I don't understand why so far, outside of Aneesa, week 1, Aneesa, no, girl, you shouldn't have got your ass up on that beam, sliding across that beam thinking you was getting ready to win elimination. No, ma'am. So I understand Aneesa, but I don't understand Fessy. I don't understand Leroy this week. Why ain't y'all take y'all asses down there and get y'all skulls? Like, I feel like everybody thinks that it's going to be so easy to win these daily challenges. And, oh, when I win a daily challenge, I'm going to see a hall brawl and that's it. Or, oh, I'm just going to have this perfect opportunity. That, like, nothing is guaranteed. When you see your shot in this game for your skull, you need to go in. But anyway, let's move on from that. Corey is now upset with Fessy because Fessy told the other side of the house about the secret vote thing before he's told him. And I'm 100% here for Corey. I'm like, Fessy, what are you doing? Like, Fessy is great at comps, but Fessy is a bad game player. And every part of me feels like they want Fessy to be this new bananas, to be this new face of the challenge, because they giving it all to him. But he's not that good at the games. Like, yeah, he's good. He's not. I don't know why y'all don't make Cam the new face of the challenge. Like, Leroy said he retired. That don't mean Cam gonna retire. You know, not Tori. I don't know. Some people said it was supposed to be Jordan, but Jordan got himself in trouble, you know, with the movement and all, and everybody's past coming back to haunt them because he said problematic things in the past. I guess he said it on the Real World Road Rules. I don't remember that far back, but that's what they said. MTV, Fessy ain't it. He's just not a good game player, because if you don't tell anybody to twist, tell your alliance. Like, I would have never told Kyle, but let's move on from that. We're finally at the challenge, and this is the challenge that's been in all the super trailers where they're wrestling on top of a semi-truck. I think it is a great competition. What I like about this competition is that it finally showed who's about that life and who ain't. Who got the heart, the fight, and who doesn't. And I only really saw one person that don't have it. And we're going to get to that. Because I think everybody, for the most part, most of the matchups were fair. A lot of people were on Twitter complaining about the matchups. And I thought for the most part, most of the matchups were fair. And I felt like even the ones that were a little bit lopsided, you know, some of them were a little bit lopsided. The person didn't give up. The person still fought. And I was like, oh, okay, let's jump right into it. So up first, we have Kyle versus Devin and Cam versus Nicole. Both of them timed out. Now, this is one, everything in me at the end of this episode feels like Devin has the big head for nothing. But Devin timed out against Kyle. He might be a little bit stronger than we think. But we gonna get to why I don't like Devin. And then Cam and Nicole timed out. To me, Cam, you should have flipped Nicole little ass on over off this truck. Now, you did break her shoulder. I know it wasn't on purpose. And let's go ahead and get that out the way. Nicole had to go home. Bye, Nicole. I was like, I'm not really a Nicole fan, but I did want to see what Nicole could do this season. But she out. I'm sure she'll be back. Natalie versus Nany and Josh versus Wes. I said this is production definitely set this one up because Josh has been wanting to go against Wes for the longest time, and Wes keeps telling you this is not a thing. This is not a thing. Josh is strong, but he's stupid. Like, you didn't listen to the rules. Yeah, you flipped over Wes, but Wes dragged his feet and he won, and you didn't. Where you was just so busy, like he had Wes up in the chokehold and pushed him off. Like, I was like, yeah, you strong, Josh. Like, I don't think Josh is a bad competitor. I just hate the buffoonery. I hate the assholishness. I hate the big babiness. Like, I don't like Josh's personality at all. But Nany is very scrappy. She surprised me up there against Natalie, who I thought Natalie would just pick her up and throw her off, and bam, that would be it. I think Natalie did win it. I don't think they timed out. I ain't write it down. But Nany, you did a good job and you held your own. So Gabby versus Amber B, Darrell versus Lilo. Lord have mercy. Leo. Darrell and Leo timed out, which really surprised me. Like, that is a regret. Like, Leo is showing me I should have picked him for my fantasy team. I should have picked him. I remember, I think I picked Kyle or Jay over Leo. One of them. I can't even really remember my fantasy team. I'm gonna have to ask Charles if he wrote it down. I was in charge. I should have wrote it down. I gotta find my notes. But anyway, I got to next week to figure that out. And Gabby won against Amber B. That ain't nothing to mention. Lolo and Nam beat Teresa and Jay. I've definitely felt like Nam against Jay was not fair. That was an imbalance, but it is what it is. It seemed like Lolo cracks me up. Lolo needs more airtime. I don't know why she hasn't made herself a stronger character in face of this show this season. I guess there's so many other big personalities, but Lolo had me cracking up. She's like, come on, Teresa, get your ass over there. Like, I'm tired. That was funny. Corey versus Tori, Liv versus Michi. Michi is someone who shocked me because, yes, Corey pushed you off that thing, but he said, big man, whoosh, you're coming with me. Bring your ass. You're coming over with me. So I like Michi. He said 165. What he said, 150 soaking dry, and I don't know how, but whatever. Michi, you skinny, but you got Corey to come with you. Liv, Tori did push over Liv, and Liv did something to her elbow. Her injury is not yet identified this episode. I'm sure we will see more next episode if she has to go home or not. Tori was all in the confessional talking about, I feel so bad that I hurt her elbow. I didn't mean to do it. Y'all know I really don't feel bad. I don't really care that much. That second part you didn't have to say, Tori. That kind of made me look at you like, why be a bitch? It just irked me. I ain't like that because, I don't know. Moving on. Casey versus Amber was definitely not fair, but Amber kind of held her own for a little bit. And Leroy versus Nelson was a good matchup. Big T is the only one this whole time where I was like, CT, I hope you watched your partner a little bit. And CT went against Fessy. Big T talking about, I never been in a fight before. What should I do? This. I'm like, and it didn't look like she tried. Like, Anissa just, bye. I think Anissa and Fessy could have won because Anissa pushed Big T off really fast, but Fessy and CT timed out. And Fessy says, I can't be a big dog unless I can beat one of the big dogs. Well, you didn't beat CT. You didn't beat him. Y'all timed out. It was a great matchup. I ain't about to fall for the Fessy hype. He got to show me a little bit more. Like, he got to show me a little bit more. Leroy and KC win the whole thing. So let's move on. I got me a new notebook, y'all. So CT and KC, this is the bullshit of the episode. And y'all could have kept all of this. It did not entertain me. When I saw how this went down, because, you know, we saw this in the super trailer, and I really wanted to know what Josh and CT were fighting about, it made me want to go through the TV and slap Josh. Like, really. So CT and KC are arguing about the stupidest shit, you know, as they do on the challenge. You tired of living with these people 24/7. Pizza versus an egg sandwich or egg, whatever CT wanted. So the argument, like, CT didn't even get loud with KC. It was just a stupid argument. And if the camera didn't focus on them, you really wouldn't have known what was going on, because it wasn't like people was like, ooh, look at CT and KC. It was the stupidest thing. But Josh says, I feel like I got to take care of KC. I got to see what's going on. And I'm like, really? Of all the women in the house, you got to take care of KC, who looks to be damn near the same. She ain't the same size as CT, but she's a strong woman. It like, KC can handle her own. Josh just needs a moment, so let's give it a quick moment. I don't really want to give this too much attention because it aggravated the shit out of me. So CT has whatever little bit of beef KC and CT had. They moved on from it. CT is all the way outside. Is he smoking a cigarette? I don't know what he's doing, but CT is all the way outside across the yard, minding his own damn business. Here comes Josh. What did Josh say? I wrote it down. He was like, I don't want to have it out with you. And CT is like, well, we ain't got to have it out. Like, what's up? And he was like, but I feel like, you know, you was just yelling at KC and she's in the kitchen crying. And CT is like, really? She's crying? Now, right here, I call bullshit. Because to me, KC doesn't give me the type of woman that is... I'm sorry, I gotta figure out how to get my phone unmapped to this iPad, because it keeps cutting off when the phone rings. But anyway, KC does not catch me as the type of woman that would be in the kitchen breaking down crying because CT yelled at her over a frozen pizza. Like, so I don't even know why CT gave this any kind of concern, but like, I would have been like, okay, Josh, and walked off but no, CT wants to give it a little moment too. So he went in, KC, are you crying? I heard you was crying. And she was like, nah, we good. It's squashed. So it's squashed, but Josh still wants a moment. He's caught up in his lie because now CT was like, well, Josh said you was crying. I didn't say she was crying. I said she was upset. And I'm like, but she wasn't upset. Like, I hate him. And for whatever reason, a screaming match. I guess CT raised his voice and Josh had to scream louder. And Josh does have a voice that carries. I don't understand what the people in this house like about him. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, he would be the first person I would want voted out. I wouldn't want to deal with that bullshit, but that's just me. So now Josh is screaming. For some reason, security came out, and Josh is like, you don't want it with me. And I'm like, you don't want it with CT. Like, Josh did not even take a step towards CT. A step. Why Big T is flailing her arms out like CT about to do something. Like, this was the stupidest moment on reality television. But let's move on, because now Devin needs a moment. Devin was like, I need some airtime too. So he screams out, Big Brother sucks. Now, Big Brother does not suck. You should have just said Josh and KC suck. I would have gave you that one, Devin, because I can't stand either one of their asses. KC is in her background talking about, I don't know why he's saying Big Brother suck when Big Brother is in the double agent tribunal this week. Like, we might just vote his ass in. And I'm like, really? We're going to vote in Devin because he said Big Brother sucked. We're going to vote in Devin because Josh wants Devin in. Like, really? We going to let Josh think he got some pull this season? I don't think so. So, for whatever reason, Josh wants to fight. And Devin yells out again, Big Brother sucks, because I think Josh had walked away. For whatever reason, Josh now wants to fight. He's running around the house like he's trying to get to Devin. Security with their mask on. You know, they probably like, y'all don't pay us enough for this bullshit. They got to hold, 4 of them got to hold Josh back. And I'm like, where was the same energy for CT who made your friend cry? Like, you ain't had that energy for a man who made a woman cry, but another man who says your show sucked, which your season did suck, Josh, and you're one of the worst winners of Big Brother. Like, on one of the worst seasons of Big Brother. Like, nobody was here for that bullshit that season. So, yes, your season of Big Brother did suck. Truth hurts. So now you want to fight Devin. Next thing I know, Devin is like, Josh, what's 8 times 9? And now Josh really wants to fight. And I'm like, see, the truth hurts. Because, like I said, your season did suck. And you suck at math. So, I'm like, I ain't never seen nobody want to fight over a math problem. It was too much. Devin was too much. I don't like Devin either. I think I tweeted I hate Devin. And I said I hate Josh in another tweet. Like, Devin does this, and it reminds me of the season when he did this same thing to Bananas, and everybody was ragging on Bananas when Bananas finally snapped and said something. He shouldn't have said nothing about his deceased father, but Devin takes you there. Like, Bananas was in, let's go back a season or 2 or however many it was for a second. That season, I forgot what Bananas did, but it wasn't Devin's fight. That's number 1. It wasn't Devin's fight. Devin came in there on a Josh thing, piggybacking on somebody else's issue, and followed Bananas all over the house, talking about, Bananas, you suck. You ain't shit on this show without me. Like, just, Bananas was walking outside in the rain to the little hut where production was and was like, Devin, leave me alone. I don't want to fight with you. After someone antagonizes you, is that the word, antagonize, or irritates you and yap in your ear, and you're trying not to give them that energy, I see why Banana snapped on them. And sometimes you have to say really low, foul shit to back somebody up off you, just to be like, leave me the fuck alone. Right? It wasn't right, but what I think everyone missed what Devin did before that. It was like, oh, but Banana said something about your dad, like, you shouldn't be here because your dad just died. Oh, you shouldn't have said, like, everybody hated Bananas after that, but ain't nobody hate on all the shit Devin did up until that moment. And that's what Devin was doing now to Josh. Even though Josh wanted the moment, Devin was steady egging him on, and it was pissing me off. And I'm like, this is why I don't like Devin. I don't like him. I wish he would have went home, but let's move on. So, for whatever reason, Wes wants to get the house to vote for Corey and Tori. I said, Wes, that was dumb. What you should have did, Wes, was let Devin be the fall guy. Devin going in regardless. And you should have just went to Casey and Leroy and just worried about yourself and made a deal to make sure you didn't go in. But whatever. I think you going after Corey and Tori kind of sealed the deal that you was going in. I don't recall Wes and Corey ever having a friendship, because Wes is talking about me and Corey was friends and this, that. Like, I don't recall that, but moving on. Devin and Nicole going in. Now, these are the 2 things I don't understand. Casey and Leroy in the tribunal type thing. I don't understand why last week Casey and Leroy were a vote for Big T and I done forgot the boy name, was a vote for them last week. And he was like, Wes was talking that shit like, I got people working for me, working doing this. And Leroy was like, yeah, I'm one of them. Very openly going against Fessy, going against Cam, like going against y'all number ones to save Wes last week. Just to be like, I don't trust them and I'm putting them in this week. I didn't make that make sense to me. I don't understand. I don't understand why Casey and Leroy aren't working together, because somewhere in the episode, it looks like Casey feels like Big Brother is running the house and like, I ain't got to tell Leroy everything because he ain't in my group. And I think she gets a false sense of entitlement because of Fessy. And Fessy, for the beginning of the show, was running the house. I don't know. And why are they not working together? Like, why isn't Fessy's group and Leroy and Cam, why aren't they working together? I thought they would have been working together. Like, I don't understand why Leroy and Cam or Leroy and KC don't trust each other. But anyway, to me, the whole vote is stupid. I don't understand why the House voted in Devin. It seemed like they voted in Devin for, what's his name? Josh. But I think maybe the House, because it was a guys' week last week, the House probably voted in Devin thinking that, oh, well, Nicole went home, so whatever girl, they probably was going to let KC be like, well, I go down there because Nicole ain't even here and get my gold skull. Like, that's maybe get in the comments. Do y'all think maybe that's why? Because they thought it would have been a girls' week and Nicole was at home. I don't know. But I felt like if the energy was, I want Devin to go in and Devin to go against Wes, why didn't the House vote in Wes like y'all did, or vote in CT, that same energy y'all had week one, and then vote in Wes and get one of the champs out, Wes versus CT? I don't know. And then I don't understand, Leroy, if you got the House to vote in Devin is clearly not as strong as Leroy. Leroy, why didn't you go get your gold skull? Because everybody's talking about Leroy, talking about, oh, well, at least we let Devin got his gold skull and he an easy one I could throw in and take his gold skull. It ain't that easy, because what if you get thrown in with Devin and it's a puzzle and now you shit out of luck? I don't understand. Like, to Kiss My Cheeks TV, Angie, if I'm big and bad, I want to go in, get my gold skull, and then now you got to challenge me for it. And you got a decision to make. You want to go up against me? You want to go up against Kyle? Like, you got 5 choices. And I don't think a lot of people over Kyle would have picked Leroy. People would have picked Kyle over. Like, I don't understand why people ain't going to get their gold skull and they think it's going to be an easier road to get it later. A lot of y'all going to leave the show with egg on your face. But moving on. The competition sucked. It was one of those run through the poles and dig in the sand and pull the person and hit a buzzer, whatever. It sucked because Wes quit. I don't care what nobody said. Wes all in the confessional. Oh, Devin really deserves to be here. It sucks to go against my best friend. I really don't want to take this opportunity from him when he really needs it. Like, yeah, Wes, we know you got all the money at home, but look, best friends go against each other all the time. They used to always throw Kayla in against Jenna. Who else? The homeboys, Hunter, Nelson, Corey. They used to throw them in against each other all the time, and none of them fell back for the other. None of them in an elimination against the other was like, oh, so-and-so really wants it. No, they fought it out, and whoever won, and it was respect. So I don't respect that. I don't think Nelson beat Wes. I ain't saying who the hell was in there, not Nelson. I don't think Devin beat Wes. I don't think Devin is no punk. I don't think he's a weakling, but he definitely is one of the weakest men as far as the physical competition. Wes could have easily, he knew what to do. He knew how to hanker down and to go inch by inch. He was clearly just letting Devin pull him back to win. And I ain't mad at it if that's what you want to do. But Devin, don't get the big head. Don't walk around thinking, oh, I beat Wes. No. Your friend let you win. Get your gold skull and go sit down and be quiet. Go sit down and be quiet. You got your gold skull. Wes let you in. And Wes, for that bullshit, don't come back. Like, stay at home with your money. Be happy. I'm ready for the newbies to come in and take over the show anyway. Like, I don't want to see the vets and the champs come in just to quit and let somebody else win. But moving on from that. So, Devin, then Wes gives some kind of speech about friendship and Leroy. I'm like, when were you and Leroy good friends? Like, I don't recall any of this. Like, Leroy has always been bonded with Bananas, and you and Bananas just made up last season. But moving on. Devin steals Tori, which I was like, he's an idiot. He's an idiot. Like, why? Natalie, one of the strongest women on the show, is sitting right there, an easy partner for you to pick up. But you want to go take Tori and then give Corey Natalie. I don't understand the logic of it. It's clear you really don't have to work with your partner from what they're saying, because you just vote in whoever you want to vote in. I'm happy somebody told him, was it Corey? It was like, just because you got a gold skull don't mean nobody won't take it from you. Like, you need to shut the fuck up. I'm happy somebody told Devin that. Like, and I'm assuming we're going to have to hear some more Devin versus Josh. I don't want to see it. I wish Devin would have went home and we could have just moved on into the show. But we're going to see what else they have to give. It was a great episode. I'm happy about it. I just want more people to say, F it, let me go in there and get my skull. Because I don't think it's going to be that easy at the end. Next week is going to be a hall brawl, though. All right. Like, comment, share, you all. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. It is Christmas Eve when I'm recording this. I probably won't be back for my other videos. If you do watch like Ready to Love and The Housewives and things like that, I will be back Monday. I probably won't record again till Monday. So I will see you all soon. The challenge come on next week. Next week. The challenge does come on next week. We're going live directly after the show next week. Me, Charles, and Drew from Angel Cake Entertainment. We're going live to discuss the episode, answer your questions, be interactive with you all, and give updates on our fantasy team. So next week we will be live directly after the show. So I will see you all soon. And again, have a happy holiday. Bye.